Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Sheen. Thank you for joining me today. We're just gonna chat about what's going on in the market, about stocks. Pretty much a bloodbath these couple of days. The Dow was down, the Nasdaq was down, 5% yesterday. What was it down today? Let me look at real quick. All I know is just a bloodbath today. Nasdaq again was down 1.27, so not as bad as yesterday. S&P down 0.81, and the Dow Jones down 0.56. So not as bad as yesterday, but definitely a lot of red. Portfolio myself, portfolio is probably down close to $6,000 on my public portfolio. So you guys are not the only ones. This markets like this, what's happening now, it separates the boys from the men, the girls from the women. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how to handle it and what to do, what I am personally doing. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So thank you for joining me today, tonight. Appreciate you guys joining me on this live chat. Love chatting with you guys. Just kind of relaxed atmosphere and just have a good conversation. Smash the thumbs up button. That really helps out the channel. Give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. I have 34 viewers in here right now, so we'll just wait a little bit. Please smash that thumbs up button. I have 34 viewers, so I should have at least 34 thumbs up right now. So thank you very much. I'm going to just scroll through the chat. First one here was Trash Panda. Thank you for joining me. As always, you're typically one of the first ones to join, and you were tonight. Trash Panda says, I was at 60 shares last week. I'm glad I only had 17 this week. Still painful. Time to move more into Workhorse. So 60 shares of what? Did you have 60 shares of Tesla and then sold off? And then you're asking if you should move some into Tesla. Move some into Workhorse. Workhorse definitely performed today. It closed, I think, up 10%, right? Let me look real quick. I believe Workhorse closed up 10%. Yeah, it closed up 11.54%. It closed at 1971. So definitely was outperforming the market today. And they just announced that they're hiring, I think, about 200 workers, assembly workers. So that all points to more contracts coming in. Ramping up production. They are supposed to try to produce 300 to 400 trucks by the end of this year. So like I said in my previous videos, they currently do not have enough employees to meet production demands of United States Postal Service if they get these contracts, and to meet the contracts they currently have with UPS and Ryder. So like I said, they don't have enough employees. They don't have enough automation. They're gonna have to put some automation into their current factories and hire new employees. And so that's what they're doing. They're hiring about 200 new employees. So all signs point positive. They also had this Hitachi partnership, and Hitachi is supposed to come in and basically help them with their manufacturing, help them with a lot of things. Definitely all signs point to they're going to get more contracts soon, and we should be expecting some type of announcement, I think, in the next few days, if not in the next couple of weeks. Like I said in all my videos, the contract needs to be awarded by September 30th for the USPS, and that is because USPS fiscal year ends September 30th. Their next fiscal year starts on October 1st, so they need to award this contract. Otherwise, I think it's just null and void. So I hope we'll hear an announcement soon. So keep in mind, an announcement might not be made until later on. They could always award the contract but not make any announcements on it. So hopefully they make an announcement, and all the people that are in Workhorse will finally get their payday. So that's my thoughts on Workhorse. Next, Matt Senkow FVAC is green. Yeah, I think it was up a little bit today. FVAC, let me take a look. Up 3.84%. So closed at $15.16. So I made a video about this one in the past, and I am bullish on this company. If you guys don't know what FVAC, it's MP Materials. They own a mine out in California called Mountain Pass, and in this mine they extract rare earth metals. These are the rare earth metals that's needed to make all the motors of EV motors. Not only that, but like wind turbines. So currently we get all this stuff from China. China has like 80 to 90% of this material, and we have to import it, and then we pay a tax on the import. So this needs to come back onto U.S. soil so we can control our own destiny. We can control our own raw materials. I think with this whole illness situation, people really need to look at what have we been doing over the past 10, 15, 20 years, basically outsourcing everything. And now this whole illness situation has shown a lot of Americans that, wait a minute, we need all this critical material to be sourced in the United States. So we aren't relying on other countries for this raw materials that we desperately need. And so EV vehicles are the future. It's not up for debate. So we need the raw materials to make these motors sourced in the United States, and this is what MP Materials is doing. And they are the only player in the Western Hemisphere that has capabilities to produce these rare earth metals to make these EV motors. So big bull on FVAC. They're supposed to be closing the merger at Q4, sometime Q4 of this year. So no official date yet. And so this stock was really stagnant for, look at this chart. And it was really stagnant for pretty much the whole month of August. And yeah, pretty much the whole month of August, it was trading $11, $12. I got into this one pretty early, I think $11 and change. So it wasn't until just a couple of weeks ago, pretty much August 27th is when it popped up. And so it's been performing pretty well, and it closed at 15.16. So still pretty early to get into this one. I think this is a little bit of long-term play, maybe 2 years out, 3 years out. So what they're trying to do is not only source the raw materials here, but also completely take over the refining process of these rare earth metals into magnets, into ND magnets. And so if they're able to do that, we're going to be able to source this material and these magnets right here in the United States. Next chat, I'm just going to try to keep up with the chat. I know the chat's going to go a lot faster than I could go. Shaman Maddox, thank you for joining me. I have 148 shares of Workhorse, and I was planning to add more if I see another dip. Personally, for me, I think I am going to put in as much as I already have. I think I have about $2,000 into Workhorse right now. I'm pretty much done unless it dips like something crazy into the 14s or 13s. But yeah, Workhorse is, like I said, definitely we're at the home stretch. I think there's going to be an announcement soon. Everything is leading up to this, the Hitachi partnership, the hiring of new employees. So everything is looking in the right direction. So there was weakness in Workhorse yesterday, and that was definitely a good time to buy. Today, you can see how Workhorse does perform up over 11% today. Amyn Lalani, do you think Tesla will surprise everyone on battery day? Should I add more shares of Tesla to my position? Hard for me to say. I don't know if how many shares you have now. What is your outlook? If you have a long-term outlook, like this is what I tell everybody. If you have a long-term outlook, so I'm talking minimum 3, preferably 5 years is what I consider a minimum outlook. If you have minimum of minimum outlook, getting into Tesla at these prices, whether it's 500, 400, or even 300, it's not going to matter in 5 years. I think Tesla is going to be, is going to be higher in 5 years, period. So, just think about what's coming down the pipe. Completion of all 3 factories that they're currently, building, finishing up Shanghai factory, finishing building Berlin, building Giga Austin. By that time, in probably the next couple of years, I bet there's going to be an announcement on either 1 or 2 more factories, probably another one in China, another one in the United States, and maybe 1 in India. So 3 to 5 years, you're going to have more factories than we have now. You're going to have Cybertruck already out in masses. Model Y will be complete, and the new Model S and Model X, and probably announcement on a Model 2, a $20,000 Tesla vehicle, anywhere from, I think, probably realistically 25,000 to 30,000 is my opinion on a Model 2 Tesla. So if you have anywhere a 3 to 5 year outlook, it really doesn't matter. Of course, you want to get it the cheapest. But you're never going to be able to get it perfectly at the very bottom unless you're just super lucky. So my opinion is, don't try to get it at the bottom. If you have X amount, I don't know, if you have like $5,000, I will put maybe 20% in at this price. If it keeps on going down lower, put another 10 or 20%. If it keeps on going lower, put another 10%, and then just keep on riding it down. And if it goes up, you might consider putting a little bit more. But that way you're not guaranteed the bottom, but you're guaranteed an average of a decent price. And so that's my opinion, for getting more shares of Tesla. Now, if you're looking more than 10 years, then it really doesn't matter. 10 years, we're going to see, in my opinion, Tesla at a $2, maybe $3 trillion market cap company. Taha Khan, thank you for joining me. So he wants to know about Tesla. Basically, I just said about Tesla. Workhorse, I already talked about Workhorse. DPHC. So DPHC was down today. I think it was up a little bit yesterday. DPHC, Diamond Peak, which is Lordstown Motors. Let's see, DPHC closed at 1760. Was up after hours. It closed at 1768, down just 1.6% today. Yesterday, it did perform a little good, not too bad yesterday. But Lordstown Motors, Workhorse owns 10% of Lordstown Motors. If Workhorse does good, they get this contract, it's going to reflect on Lordstown. Sorry, if Workhorse gets this contract, USPS contract, it's going to reflect positively on DPHC, on Lordstown. So they kind of go hand in hand. My prediction is that if they get this contract, if USPS gives at least 50%, is which I'm thinking is at least 50% is going to go to Workhorse, then I think some of this is going to be outsourced to Lordstown, and they're gonna be able to make revenue on these United States Postal Service trucks, and also keep in mind that the trucks that the Lordstown Endurance truck is a Workhorse truck, and it uses the same type of motors, the same type of technology is used in the United States Postal Service trucks as in the Lordstown truck. So they have experience already producing this Lordstown truck, and it's not much to produce basically the same chassis for the USPS. They use the same in-hub motors. I think just a lower version of the LV propulsion motors in the Lordstown Endurance that they will use in the USPS trucks. So DPHC I am bullish on. Workhorse I'm bullish on. Of course, Tesla I'm bullish on as well. I'm getting really backed up on the chat. Also about green power. Green power, I made a video about it yesterday. Check out the video if you haven't yet already, but nothing has changed from my video yesterday. Basically, if you were buying green powers 2 weeks ago, there's absolutely no reason why you are not buying now. Because if you're buying 2 weeks ago, the company was weak. They only had about $400,000 in cash. They had a questionable weak balance sheet, but now they have over $37 million in cash. They have a new presentation out. They talked about they're going to be able to increase their capacity of their EV Star vehicles, double from 15 to 30 vehicles by the end of this year. And for their cab and chassis, they're going to be able to produce, I think, 100. They're going to bump that up from 50 to 100 cab and chassis by the end of this year. So that is additional possible sales of $200 million if all things are the same, if they sell basically the EV Stars and for the price they are. It has a potential of additional $200 million of revenue. So they are in a lot stronger position than they were before. So no reason why you should not be in green power now if you were in earlier. So yeah, and green power, what are they trading at? I think it's like $13 or $14. Yeah, and it's $13.68. So $13.68. Keep in mind that I also said in my let me just divide that out. $13.68 divided by 7. So you're getting this at $1.95 now. So under $2. This is pre-split. Pre-split, it will be $1.95. So absolute bargain. Keep in mind that even the CEO purchased additional shares of Green Power. The Green Power CEO purchased shares, $500,000 worth of shares, and he paid $20 per share. So just think about it. If you could get it for $13.68, yeah, that is it. What are your thoughts on the new solid state battery, KCAC, backed by Bill Gates? So my thoughts about it is solid state is going to be massive. It's the next generation battery. It's going to take EVs to the next level. It's basically the holy grail of battery technology. Like I said, I talked about it in my previous video. The solid state battery is super energy dense. They are used in medical equipment right now, so they're using a lot of pacemakers, and so the battery in a pacemaker is tiny, and those pacemakers could last about 7 years. So just think about how energy dense a solid state battery is. So that's where it's used right now, and it's very, very expensive. So what needs to happen is bring down the cost and then be able to mass produce solid state batteries for EV vehicles. No one has been able to do that yet. So there's not only just this company, what is it, QuantumScape. So QuantumScape and KCAC, they're going to merge. It's backed by Bill Gates and is backed by Volkswagen. So two huge names. The only problem about this is they are super early, and I think they're just taking advantage of the SPAC, what's hot right now, to get some funding. But they're not going to, even in their own investor presentation, they're not going to be able to have a solid state battery until at least, I don't know, it's like 5 years, and they're not expecting to make revenue until decent revenues until like 5 or 6 years out, and not profitable until they're projecting, I forgot what it is, like maybe 7 years out. So it is a long play. So the question is, do you have enough money to put in there and just wait for 5-7 years before they have a product out on the market? Because they don't have a product out. They don't have anything to sell. They're just working on it. With that said, the team is backed by Volkswagen, so that's a huge plus. Backed by Bill Gates, of course, that's a huge plus. And they have JB Straubel on the board. He is one of the co-founders of Tesla, and he's the one that was basically working on Tesla's battery, working on their modules from the very beginning. So he has a lot of experience in battery and battery technology. Also, the team, some of the team members are coming out of Stanford, where they do a lot of EV battery studies there. So the thing is, it's just, Bill Gates can put his money into a company and wait 10, 20 years. I mean, he has plenty of money to to throw around and just have it sit there. Probably you and I don't have that much money to just put it into a company and wait 5 years to get any decent return. So that's the thing. It's just a long-term play. Really the play on this one was to ride the hype. And if you wanted to ride the hype, you had to get in this like early pre-market yesterday or the day before, and you would have made like over 100% gains. But now, I think it is the hype is over. I don't think it's gonna go up much more. So that's my opinion. Zach Caslow, thank you for joining me. Would you move your Tesla into Shell, FMCI, or Workhorse based on not getting into S&P 500? So I wouldn't move my Tesla anywhere. I'm gonna hold my Tesla for at least 5 years. In my other accounts, I may sell some Tesla in my public portfolio that I share with you guys, and the only reason that I would sell those is to buy a Tesla. So that's the only reason I would sell my Tesla shares in this particular account. So I would not move anything. For Shell, I already have a decent amount of money into Shell throughout my, I think it's like 7 portfolios. So I personally wouldn't, but I'm not concerned about S&P 500 inclusion. So if you guys haven't heard, Tesla is not going to be included in the S&P 500. I don't think they gave a specific reason, but the reason that I spoke about before and what I'm thinking, the reason is because a lot of the revenues, the net income was from these credits, from these federal ZEV credits. So if you don't know, companies that do not produce enough electric vehicles, enough what was the word non-green vehicles, they need to pay credits to the government, and so since Tesla, all they do is electric vehicles, they're able to sell their credits because they don't need the credits because they don't produce any combustion engine vehicles. So they sell these credits to other auto manufacturers, so those auto manufacturers can meet their federal guidelines. So a lot of their net income came from these credits, and I think that's what S&P 500 said that. I don't think they officially said it, but that's my guess, is that they don't really like that fact that they are profitable due to these credits. So I think it's BS. But anyways, I don't read much into it. I think Q3 numbers are going to be massive for Tesla because they ramped up their Model Y, and the Model Y, the profit margins are much higher. It costs them a lot less to make the Model Y, but yet it sells for a lot more than the Model 3. So I'm not too concerned about the S&P 500 issue with Tesla. SixPack cuts like Mike. The quarantine easing by the Fed and how it's inflating the market. Oh, sorry, the quantitative easing by the Fed and how it's inflating the market. So there's no doubt that the Fed has basically backstopped the market. The Fed basically said that they would pump money into the market and do whatever it needs to do in order to keep this market alive. And so far, it has worked. I don't see this correction that we have now anything to do with the whole illness situation. I think there's just stocks just don't continuously go up. There needs to be a retraction, and the Nasdaq is up. How much is it up? I think Nasdaq is overall up to over 11,000. So going back before this whole illness situation, we were only about 9,000, almost 10,000. So we are roughly 2,000 more than back in February before this whole illness situation happened. So we have had a massive recovery. So the stock market just needs a correction, and I think that's what we're seeing. We'll see if it lasts any longer. My prediction is that I think over the weekend, a lot of people are going to really think about what's going on, and I do think that probably we're going to have a bounce back on Monday. Is my opinion. I know, who knows? That's just my opinion. Somebody just shot me a super chat, I think. I don't see on my chat here, but I see it on my other window. So Johnny Martin, there it goes. There it is. Johnny Martin. Thanks, guy. Thanks, man. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Awesome channel. Appreciate that super chat. Really humbles me that you guys support my channel, and hope you guys find value in my content and in my videos. So smash the like button. So I think what we have 134 people in this chat, so I should have at least 134 likes, and I only have 52. Come on, guys, smash the like button. Really helps out the channel. Really pushes the YouTube algorithm to spread my videos. So let me go through some more chat. Raha, about 500 shares of GP for short term. So yeah, like I said, at these prices at $13, so pre-split, that's under $2. So massive opportunity, in my opinion. Your thoughts on GP at 13? Yeah, like I said, I think it is a massive opportunity. They are in a better position than they were 2 weeks ago. They have $37 million in cash. They ramped up their production. They're going to be able to double their production by the end of this year. They have more contracts, I think, for their school buses and for the EV Star. They're the only company that sells EVs, EV Class 4 vehicles. So these are basically transport vehicles. They're EV Stars. They're the only company that sells Class 4 vehicles that are Altoona certified, and they're Buy America compliant. So that means that they can leverage about 80% of Federal Trade Administration funds, FTA funds. So, the government will subsidize up to 80% of these vehicles, and they're the only company that is able to get that currently. So GP at $13, I think it's a buy, my opinion. Don't sue me if it crashes, though. I'm going to just try to catch up with the chat. Tribeca, Tesla going a little down is not a bad thing at all. Do people expect it to 10x every 2 months? Yeah, I mean, it needs a breather, guys. It's like up over 1,000% in the last year, in the last 12 months. It's not going to just continue to go up. So relax, take this opportunity to buy more. So calm down. Don't get too uptight. JMA, why didn't Tesla make it into S&P? Like I said, I think I said already. They didn't. I don't think they said officially, but my reasoning, I think, is because too much of their income came from selling credits, which I think is BS. They didn't make the rules. The government made the rules that auto manufacturers need to be cleaner, and if you're not cleaner, then you have to pay a fine. And so Tesla doesn't need these credits, so they're able to sell it to other manufacturers. Sajal Patel, thank you for joining me. Finally got a chance to get into FVAC. Yeah, man. FVAC, it's finally starting to move, but I think this is going to be a big one for the long run. So I think it's going to be a good play. They're sourcing rare earth metals, and these metals are definitely going to be needed in the next few years. Massive adoption of EV vehicles, and just the whole world is going green. So this is needed for EV motors, wind turbines, robotics, etc. So they're the only player in the Western Hemisphere that is trying to bring it back to the United States. So I think it's really vitally important that we get these raw materials sourced back in the United States. Angela K, I liked your video about LCA. I saw Tillman on CNBC, but only talked about restaurants. Maybe it was just a clip. Yeah, so he did talk about LCA, LCA previously when the merger was first announced, but I don't think he's made much talk about it lately. And one of the reasons just because he wasn't really asked about it by the interviewer, I think. So LCA, I think, is going to be massive. Remember, they reported revenues, I think, just a few weeks ago, and they beat their expectations, their own expectations. Okay, I believe the previous quarter they had 15, I think it was $15 million in net revenue. So this is net revenue, bottom line. And they were expecting $27 million this quarter, but they beat it by about $1.2 million. They reported about $28.2 million. So they beat their own expectations. And that's only in one state, in the state of New Jersey. So next year they're supposed to be opening in Michigan, and I think that's solid. Michigan is already ramping that up, and so it's looking like Michigan is going to open for sure, and then Indiana possibly sometime next year as well. And so their revenue is just going to grow massively. And just keep in mind, this is an online software play. It's not like they have to build more casinos, construction overhead, none of that. It's just all software. So all they have to do is get more customer service, get more servers, and that's it. Very low overhead. So for them to expand into 1, 2, 3 more states, their revenue is just going to 2x, 3x, 4x, very low overhead. So I think Golden Nugget online gaming is going to be massive. And like I said, that's just small opportunity when the United States, just every state just falls in line, because I think the states need revenue. They need a lot more tax revenue. And do you think the governors, the mayors, do you think they're going to raise taxes on people in this climate, in this situation, during an election year? Do you think they're going to raise taxes? Because that's a sure way to not get elected anymore, especially in this environment that we're in now. So that's not going to happen. So how are they going to get more money? They need to find more sources of revenue. Online gaming, it's a no-brainer to me. Colin B bought GP at 19, now stressing. Even at 19, just because it went down, of course we always want to get it at the cheaper price. But if you have any long-term outlook, a couple of years, 1 or 2 years, I think you're probably going to be more than double that. So like I said, they're ramping up production. They're going to be able to produce more than 30 EV vehicles per month by the end of this year. Right now, they're only producing about 15 per month. So they're going to be able to double production by the end of this year. And even at $19, I think you're going to be sitting okay if you have anywhere from maybe at least a year outlook on this one. So I don't think it's a big deal. Of course, if you could get in cheaper, it's definitely better. So I always tell people, don't put all your money in at once. If you have a certain amount of money, you could buy in at 19 and then see what happens. If it pulls back more, then you buy in a little bit more, and if it keeps on pulling back, then you buy a little bit more. And that's exactly what I did. So let me look at my purchases real quick. So I was buying into green power basically for the last I think 2 days. So I bought in about I believe I bought in at 19. I bought it at 18 and change. I bought it at 17 and change. I bought it at 16 and change. So that's the way you got to do it, because you're never going to get the exact bottom. So that's what I always tell people. Don't put all your money in at one time. You have to average your average down, and so that's the way to play it. Oh, there you go. Bought down to 14. Yeah, so you're fine. You just calm down. Data Zero IPOB has been moving lately. Also, I parked a good amount in there with FVAC. Yeah, so FVAC, MP Materials, Chamath Palihapitiya is funding the pipe investment on that. I think it's 275 million that he's funding, and IPOB is his SPAC company. So I think it's just been moving just because people need to put their money somewhere. So I don't think there's an announcement, but as soon as there is an announcement, that thing's going to pop as well. I have some money in IPOB also, and I have some money in IPOC, which is Chamath's other SPAC company. Melissa, do you think there will be another dip in Workhorse on Tuesday? I really don't know. I mean, even if there is, I don't think it would last long, because I just do think that the announcement about United States Postal Service is coming. So any dips, I think, are going to be far and few in between from now to the end of the month. So that's my answer. Math guy, the question many asked today for next week: will Tesla go back to 500 next week, or stay in the 400s, or sub 400 for the next weeks? My take is that next week we can buy it for cheap on 300-ish. Yeah, so I don't think there's going to be any news, especially since the S&P pretty much did not include Tesla into the S&P. So I don't think there's going to be any positive news next week. So we're just going to have to wait till Battery Day, which is on the 21st. So I don't think there's going to be any upwards movement of Tesla until Battery Day. So my suggestion, my opinion, is just average down on Tesla, because right now it was even down after hours, right? It was down after hours to 391. So, my opinion is try to average down, buy at 391 on the open on Tuesday, and then see if it keeps on going down, which I fully believe that it could go down even further. Right now we're down about 25%. So it could go down. I didn't think it would go more than 20%, but it looks like we're pretty much at 20% from, because of what it was all the way up to 500, right? So maybe down to 30%. I really don't see it falling more than 30%. But if it does, definitely a buying opportunity. So personally, I would not be interested in Tesla until it goes down into like the low 300s. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, just average down is the way to play that. All right. So MrJhuerta, what's up? Thank you for the support. Thank you for joining me tonight. What's good support for Tesla stock? Looking at the chart, how low could it go? So honestly, let's do some calculation. So pre-split, what are we at now? 390, about 391, right? So that we're looking at, so pre-splits, that's about $2,000, 1955. So honestly, I didn't think Tesla would fall. At the lowest I think it would have fell was about 1,200, because that 1,200 was previously historically was very, very strong support, and 1,000 was the strongest support. Tesla was at above 1,000 for the longest time, and that 1,000 is just a mental thing. 1,000. If people saw Tesla under 1,000, they were buying. So 1,000 was a very, very strong support. So I would be very, very shocked if I saw Tesla at $200. So that's what it would be if we're taking post-split numbers. So honestly, I think I think 1400 would be the lowest I expect Tesla to be. And so what is that? So that would be about $280. So honestly, if it was anywhere to be under 300 and sorry, yeah, basically anywhere from 350 to 280, that's where realistically is the lowest I would see Tesla, and that's only in the next few weeks leading up to Battery Day. So that's my opinion. Personally, I would be interested in Tesla anywhere under $300. I think I got another super chat. Andre, thank you very much, man. Super sticker, $2.99. Thank you for your support. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So yeah, man. I hope you guys are give me a thumbs up. Really smash the like button. Have 95 likes, but there's 193 people in here. It doesn't add up, guys. Smash the like button. Really help me out. Give me a thumbs up. Just scrolling through the chat, guys. So have you guys been buying anything on this dip? I personally have been buying some green power motors. I bought some more Shell warrants, and I bought what else? I bought a couple more shares of Cirrus Logic. What do you guys think about Cirrus Logic? Anybody in on Cirrus Logic? Just hit me up in the chat. Andre Blake, what's up, man? Thank you for that super sticker again. Tesla dropped right before market close because of the news. Do you know what is a company or just a huge? Do you know was it a company or just a huge sell-off? No, I mean they just dropped because just the overall market, number one, and then number two. Number two is just because they've been up massively and they just need a correction. You know, nothing unexpected. They need a correction. And then number three, they didn't get included in the S&P 500. So I said earlier in my chat the reason why they didn't get included because I don't think there was an official statement, but the most likely reason is because they got too much of their income from selling credits, and so it is what it is. I think they're going to be reporting massive numbers for Q3. Why is that? Well, because Model Y has been ramping up in the United States, and they are already testing out the Model Y in Shanghai, and so Q3 is going to be massive because of Model Y. Model Y sells for a lot more. The profit margin on the Model Y is a lot more because it's easy. It's cheaper for them to produce the Model Y because this shares about 70. I think it was like 75% of the same parts as the Model 3, but yet it's a bigger vehicle and bigger battery pack. But it's still cheaper for them to produce that vehicle, but they sell it for for much more. So the profit margins on it is going to be or is a lot more. So Q3 numbers I think are going to blow Q2 numbers out of the water. Martin Lloyd bought Shell contracts on the dip, bought more GP stock as well. Yeah, I have Shell contracts. I have put options on Shell. I think it's like 2 years out though. So I have a call option contract on that on Hyliion. And I bought more GP stock as well. I think GP at these prices it's like almost you have to buy. Any thoughts on FEAC? I haven't heard of that one. Sorry, I haven't heard of that one yet. Sean HKG, what's up? Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you for joining me, Sean. Bought some Shell today on the dip. Yeah. I bought some warrants yesterday. I bought it at I think $19 or $20. I should have waited because I think it went down to like $18 I think today. Shell warrants down to $19. I thought it was a little bit lower earlier. It closed at $19, but I think it was down to like $18 sometime today. So I bought some more warrants on Shell. My life for Ayor. What happened to the fractional shares created by GP in the reverse stock? I couldn't find any info on this. So fractional shares, it depends on your broker. Some brokers, if you have fractional shares, it won't transfer over. They'll just give you the cash for it. And some brokers will be able to give you that fraction of a share. So that depends on your broker. Melissa, I have a suspicion Tesla may fall slightly below 300 soon. Yeah, I wouldn't be very surprised if it falls below 300. I possibly will add more. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Throughout all my accounts, I literally have over 6 figures worth of Tesla. So it is by far my biggest position. But if it falls under 300, I may have to add more. Lourdes, thank you for your question. Thank you for joining me. What do you think of DPHC? I already talked about DPHC earlier, but I think it's going to be a good play. It's going to be massive. It's going to go up with Workhorse as soon as Workhorse makes an announcement for the USPS. I think Lordstown will get benefit from that. Also, Lordstown is targeting a market that nobody else is targeting with an EV truck, and that's the fleet market. So I think they they were showing their trucks off to something electric company in, I think, California or Southern California. What was it, like Southern Edison Electric or something like that. So that's the market that they're targeting. Electric, like utility companies, construction companies. So these companies buy tens, if not hundreds, of trucks at one time. So they're targeting a different market than the consumer market. So that's a very interesting. And they're targeted to be the first EV truck out on the market. So very interested in Lordstown Motors. Erica, thank you for joining me. Love your content. Just joining live stream. What do you think of Rocket? Rocket Mortgage, I haven't been following that close. It has ran up massively. So, it's what I heard, but let me just look at Rocket. So, let's see the past month. It was down from 19 all the way up to like $19 all the way up to like $33. It bounced back down to about $24. So Rocket, they're really changing the whole mortgage industry. Mortgages traditionally takes a long time to get all the paperwork done, and you have to sign everything. So Rocket is definitely disrupting that sector. But honestly, I haven't been following it that much. That's pretty much all I know. So I don't have much of opinion on Rocket. Should I hold my 250 call for December? Did I might have missed a previous, because I don't know what that 250 call is on. I know it's hard to answer, but when do you think Tesla will recover back to 500 plus price point? Oh man, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. With Battery Day, I do think it's going to get a bump. Do I think it's going to go from, what is it now, 380 back up to 500? Definitely possible. It all depends on what they talk about and how exciting it is. But the market is the market. It all depends on people's sentiment. Sorry. So, yeah, it's hard for me to say, but all I know is it's going to be higher in the future. So that's all I can say. Sean Stevens, what's up? Thank you for joining me. Just got here. What are your thoughts on Tesla and S&P? I already talked about that. Basically, I think it's BS. Whatever, it is what it is. If they don't get included in S&P this time, I'm sure they will be included next time. Their revenues are going to go up because of their Model Y ramp up. So I have no worries about their S&P inclusion, in the future. So the market is reacting to it, and I think it is a sale. So that's what I think. So are you saying Workhorse will get the USPS contract? I mean, I have no idea. I think they will get at least a portion of the USPS contract, and that's where all signs point, right? They're hiring about 200 new employees. They're also combining with Hitachi to look at their manufacturing capabilities, make assessments, and so that obviously points to a ramp up in production. So, is this a ramp up in production for the USPS? We don't know yet, but my opinion is yes, they will be getting a portion of this contract. Question is how much of this contract. Realistically, I don't think they'll get less than 50% of the contract. So that's just my opinion. Tony Tran Workhorse Lordstown Trump and Pence break bread together. Yeah, that whole political circle is definitely strong in Workhorse play, the Lordstown play. So if you haven't been following the politics of it, pretty much the current administration is very bullish on GM, Workhorse, Ohio. They need the votes. They need the votes in Ohio. So that's what's going on with Workhorse and Lordstown Motors. Any thoughts on Worksport? They released news about a deal with EV manufacturing for solar panels. Yeah, so I looked at their website and I couldn't really find a lot of information about them. I don't think they even have any decent revenue. So it's something that I'm not interested in because I don't know who this EV manufacturer is. They haven't even said who it is. If they make an announcement, I might be more interested. But right now they make basically covers for trucks. Like the back cover for the truck bed, and they're going to make a solar cover for EV trucks. So basically, turn your truck into a solar panel, and my thoughts about that is, there's nothing proprietary about it. There's nothing special that any other company can just come out and make the same thing. So their product doesn't really excite me, and I don't know what manufacturer that they're working with. If there's any news that comes out, and about the manufacturer, the OEM, the EV truck company, then I'll be more interested. But until that comes out, I'm just staying away from that one. So Tesla is going to crash. Sell Tesla, please. Well, I mean, Tesla is a risky stock if you are only interested in it for a few months. Yeah, you could have bought it at 500, and now it is down to 391. So yeah, if you're only interested in it for a week or 2 weeks, you could lose a lot of money. But if you're going to hold it for 3 to 5 years, you're going to make a lot of money. So yeah, no, all stocks are risky. If you don't want to make money, then don't. If you don't want to win money, and you don't want to lose money, then don't invest in stocks. Brian, Trump's largest investment company, BlackRock, just bought 4.2 million shares of Workhorse stock 2 weeks ago. It's not a matter of if they win win part of contracts, matter of how much they win. Yeah, so like that, the political aspect of that is really strong. I've used pretty much all of my buying power at this point, but would you consider investing $10,000 into Workhorse or GP, or do you have another suggestion? So if you're giving me the choice of GP versus Workhorse, if I was doing it in a tax sheltered account, I would probably go GP because I would be able to hold that longer. So like if this was a retirement account, like a 401k or something, like an IRA, I would put $10,000 into GP because GP over the next, I think, 2-3 years is going to grow massively. So in a tax sheltered account, I will be able to hold on to it and not have to pay taxes on it. And it will be, I don't need that money. But if it was in a cash account, I might put it into Workhorse only because that pop, I think, is going to happen a lot faster as soon as USPS contract is announced. I mean, who knows? We could see maybe a 2 or 3x, and so that way you could quickly double or triple up that $10,000 and then just get out of Workhorse because I think after that pop, you might see a retraction. So if it was a short-term play and if it was like in a non-taxable account, I would go with Workhorse. If it was a taxable account and a longer-term play, I would go with Green Power. Any chance S&P on Tuesday, as some people say? I don't know if you heard the news, but the official news is that Tesla is not going to be included in the S&P 500. Why do you think long-term investment? Why do you think long-term investment to multiple stocks is good? Rather, we can invest more money to potential stock like Workhorse, which can multiple in short term, right? Lordstown has a lot of potential. I absolutely agree. Sean, what do you think about entering gold? Is there much of an upside? I want to diversify from Apple, Tesla, and Workhorse, which is my whole portfolio right now. I mean, if you want to diversify, that's definitely an option. But I don't really follow. I don't really follow gold or any or any of that that type of market. Let's see. Is it true big investors cannot invest in companies like Shell before merger? They can only after merger. I think it depends on the company. Each company has different rules. So there's rules for different companies. That some cannot invest in like if a market cap is less than $1 billion, they cannot invest in it. So it's different rules for different companies. Some companies are not allowed to invest in a pre-merger company. So it just depends. Let's see. I'm gonna wrap this up. We're almost up at an hour. So thank you guys for joining me. 265 people in here. How many thumbs up do I have? 135. I'm short. Come on, guys, give me a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Jack Dragon, EV game over. Tesla will always dominate EV market globally. I agree. Definitely Tesla is the number one EV player. I don't think that is up for debate. Cool, guys. So thank you for joining me. I just want to wrap up by saying, let me. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. So, all right, so there's my screen. So look, this is the market. I mean, it's just a bloodbath. Pretty much everything is red. You know, I mean, if you're down, you know, you're not the only one. So everything, pretty much everything is red. The only thing that's green, I think, is some of the reopening stocks. So I think Carnival was up today. I think Carnival was saying that they're going to start sailing soon. So they are up, and they're up for the past couple of days. So some of these reopening stocks are green, and so you're seeing a transition from the big growth tech stocks into these beaten down reopening stocks, these restaurant stocks, cruise line stocks. So I think there's going to be some transition into it. So if you could get some movement into these other stocks, you'll be able to get some gains there. But also these prices where were like Spotify was all the way up to almost $300 on Spotify. So now we're getting some discounts. So if you wanted to get into these stocks and you weren't able to before, this is a fantastic time to get in and get a discount. Same thing with Tesla. I mean, come on. If Tesla was down $200 like 3 weeks ago, I think people would be buying the stock. So don't let these opportunities slip by. So this is my public portfolio that I share with everybody. And like I said, if you're worried about being in the red, you're not the only one. So I mean, pretty much half of my portfolio is in the red. Some of you guys will know these names. So we'll go through this really quick. So like I said, I'm in Carnival, and I'm down 19%. I was in this one for a long time now at 23.16. So I'm just waiting for this one to come back up, and I think this is going to be a reopening stock. And after everything is the illness situation is taken care of, I think this stock is going to see going back up to $30, $40 in the next couple of years. So Green Power Motors. So I'm down on this one. I have a cost basis of $16.60, and so I'm looking to bring this down further. So like I said, buying it under $14, definitely a good price point. They're in a better position than they were before. SPAC, so Fisker, so they need to get a contract with that with a manufacturer to make their skateboard. So I'm in that one as well. Let's scoot down some more. I'm in a lot of SPACs, just waiting on IPOB and IPOC, social capital, that is Chamath Palihapitiya. As you can see, I'm in a lot of these SPACs, just waiting for some news. Cirrus Logic, I am in this one. Cost basis of $56. I think this one is definitely a stock to look at. If you guys don't know, they make chips for basically for Apple. They're the biggest chip manufacturer for audio codecs and audio chips. So we all know Apple is doing very well in their sales. And keep in mind, the next iPhone is going to be announced soon. It's going to be a 5G iPhone. So this next iPhone is going to be the iPhone that people have been waiting for, because everyone knows there's going to be a 5G iPhone. So a lot of people are going to trade in their old iPhones. People have been holding on to iPhones for more than 2 years now. So this next rotation of iPhones is going to be massive. So Apple's going to be is going to be up, and as a result, companies like Cirrus Logic is going to be seeing some nice gains. So Cirrus Logic, something to look at. So like I said, even with this downturn, I still have a lot of stocks that are still performing well, and I'm still up on Tesla 300%. So if you look at the market as a whole, we're not down that much. So just a couple of days in the red is nothing. It's a decent time to buy. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. You guys are just chatting in the live chat. What are you guys talking about? Cybertruck Model Y gonna crush it. They will never keep up with production. Yeah, I mean, Cybertruck, the last I saw, I think they have 700,000 pre-orders now, something like that, something ridiculous. I have one on pre-order, so I think it's going to be massive. Battery day, 2 million mile battery and solid state battery. I mean, I don't think they don't have solid state battery yet. Solid state battery is going to be at least another 3 to 5 years. So there's a difference about what they're gonna announce. So what they're gonna announce is their Maxwell cell battery, and that is. Sorry, let me. Sorry. So what they're announcing is not a solid state battery. They're going to announce a dry battery electrode. So it's the same battery, but instead of using a wet slurry to manufacture the battery, and that takes a lot of floor space in the factory to manufacture batteries with this wet slurry technology. So they're able to manufacture it without doing that. So it's a dry compound, but that's different than solid state battery. So I don't think Tesla has a solid state battery. Nobody has a solid state battery just yet. Sean Stevens, thanks, man. You're wise like Yoda. Thank you very much. Shell holding strong. Yeah, I mean, we just saw that thing shoot up from like $28 to $50. So if you're disappointed at the performance of Shell, I mean, it's only down 0.79% today. So I think calm down, guys. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining me. So like I said, the market just needed a breather. Nothing to freak out about. Everybody is down. I'm down on my positions, but overall, we're still up massively. If you take the whole year into perspective. So, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Before you leave, give me a thumbs up. I should have more than 200 some thumbs up. There's 255 people in this live chat. And I only have 166 thumbs up. So give me a thumbs up, guys. Throw a thumbs up this way. Thank you very much. Catch you in the next one. Have an awesome weekend. And Monday, the market is closed. So happy trading next week starting on Tuesday. I think the market is going to have a little bit of a rebound. That's just my opinion. I think everyone's going to take the weekend to kind of digest what has been happening and what's going on. Keep in mind, the jobs report was good. Unemployment numbers are down. So I think over the weekend, people are going to have time to digest this information. And I think we're going to have probably a rebound on Tuesday. So just my opinion. So take it for what it's worth. Have an awesome weekend. Catch you in the next one. Peace.